joy we have when all we do is laugh. You are my warrior, and I am your priestess, and fighting together with love, we will confess. Holding my hand, woman, and
Hi, we're just like holding a little space. Like I just got a little teary from that. I'm so happy to have not only someone who is a brilliant human and Renaissance woman, but she's also a friend, which is always the best. So please welcome our Lady J to the show. Hi.
How's everybody doing?
So good to be here with you. Literally, even when we were watching that earlier after you had sent it, she gasped openly. She literally went,
Aw.
I know. I was like, oh my God.
yeah, it's
Thank
gorgeous. What's the
you.
name of that song?
It's called We Stand.
Excellent.
I just unplugged
We come
my
unplugged.
headset.
Ka-kunk.
There we go. I'm not touching that again.
No fidgeting. No fidgeting.
And you said it was, did you write it for that occasion?
I did not write it for that occasion, but I had written it like just weeks before that. It was the 50th anniversary celebration of La Mama in New York.
Right. Tremendous. Tremendous. Beautiful.
I mean, first of all, not that it's important, but I just have to say in that video, it's like, you're just magical. Like, magical. Like, not only are you stunning, but like you sound amazing, and then the words are amazing. Like, I was just like,
and you're playing the piano.
I know.
You're playing your fucking balls
Thanks.
off.
And so I play my piano with my left hand, and then I control my vocals with the right hand. So it's like a left hand like Brahms situation, and then a right hand like Imogen Heap situation.
I know. I was gonna say it reminds me a lot of Imogen Heap. I love,
It's
which I love her
She's a
too.
big
It's
inspiration
fantastic.
for
Yeah.
So
sure.
that's like literally just a piece of this like unbelievable creative pie that you have. You're now writing on Transparent.
I am writing and producing on
And
Transparent.
producing this year. That is
Oh my
just
gosh.
I
the
became
coolest.
a producer.
That's
as
Okay,
of
but
this
I
week.
want to ask you, do you have any aspirations to direct? Because I found that a lot of the writers also direct, and I was like, I wonder if she's going to direct too.
I would love to direct eventually.
Good. I'm so excited to hear that.
Yeah, eventually. I'm loving writing right now, though. Writing, it's so fulfilling.
And not
be able
only
to-
it started off the episode just this season just like was last week that
Yeah.
they released it, and you're already back at school.
And we're back at season. Well, we had all summer off
Yeah.
while they were editing and color correcting and mixing and putting the press together. So we weren't working up until the release.
Right. Right. But
We
the
did have
release
some
is a
time.
lot of work too.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of red carpet fun.
Yeah.
I love when the show
Speaking
comes
of
out.
your red carpet, your style is so amazing on the red carpet.
Oh, thanks.
You
I
at the
agree.
Emmys, I was like, yes, you are like killing it.
Do
We
we
have
have that?
pictures.
Yeah.
We have pictures of you on the red carpet at the Emmys. We have one where you're kind of like full body, and then one a little bit closer up because I wanted to show. I don't know if you'll be able to see the close up if you'll be able to see what I want to talk about in the close up, but your fingernails were so cute too.
Oh, I had the trans pride flag painted on my nails. It's
Oh my gosh, even better.
pink,
That's
blue, and white
incredible.
stripes. And I was
Oh.
styled by Torrin Gray. I want to give them a shout out.
Yes,
the
please.
stylist duo.
Anyone who uses a cape in their styling.
I mean, I
is a
think that's what it
winner.
is. I
They had
just
to talk
secretly
me
want
into
to
the
be.
cape, actually.
I think I secretly want to be like Superwoman because I like always want to wear a cape.
Anytime there's a cape involved, we're like,
I'm
we
like,
love
I
it.
love it. I'm obsessed. I love it. But then you had other red carpet looks too that we have pictures of.
Oh gosh.
It was you at I guess it must have been another Emmy party. And
Oh yeah, that was the producers' party for the Emmys.
I mean, it's just
That was
so
also
beautiful.
styled by Torrin Gray. They styled me all week because we had the Creative Arts Emmys, a bunch of parties, the CAA party,
Right.
and then
Oh,
Amazon's party.
just so
So
exhausting. Just
exhausting.
party after party
So hard
after
to
party.
hold
It is
Emmys in our
exhausting.
hands. So
It's-
hard.
It's a lot of work. It really is.
Oh, I'm sure. No, I really truly believe that it is.
I mean, it takes a team effort to like make this work: hair, face,
The hair,
clothes,
the makeup,
jewelry,
the
all of it, shoes.
psychology. I mean, I actually hate fashion. Like, I hate fashion because I'm plus size. I'm 6'2", 200 pounds, with giant breasts, as you can see. I think I was like,
I think you need to turn to the side. Can you turn to the
when I
side so
got
they can
these,
see?
I think I was just like, my eyes were bigger than my appetite when I went to the doctor, and I just don't fit into anything. And so, like, when I go shopping,
you look like you
I
fit
have
in
a
that dress. I
crisis.
mean, you are fit in that dress. Just
It's really
saying, you look
true.
really good.
And that's interesting.
Well,
'cause
I
we
can
were-
rock size stretch really well.
So can I. Size
That's
stretch
it,
is
size
great.
stretch well, we were going to ask you. We weren't sure even if you had identified it as plus size, like if that is the kind of place where you have to go in order to get
I
clothes.
do. Well, it depends. It's a mishmash of whatever. If it's stretchy, I don't need to be plus size. But I am tall, so and it's hard to find. It's just really hard to find
Yeah.
things.
I know.
I return a lot of things.
Shoes have to be hard. A friend of mine has a size 12 shoe,
Yeah,
and it's
I'm
like it's
12 wide.
and she's just like struggling finding shoes too. So I'm just like, it's just hard being a woman, guys.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
hard.
wearing men's sneakers right. They're actually children's.
I
Can I show you
mean,
my
I
sneakers
Yes.
right
yes,
now?
please show them because the envy.
Wait,
I
but
have.
wait,
Can
how
I
do you
hit
get them to light up?
Oh, I think they might have the battery.
There we go. Yes.
I thought you had to step on something. I was willing to do that for
You're
you.
willing
Thank
to
you.
smack. You're willing to
High
smack her
five your
foot.
foot.
I ordered those on Amazon.com.
That works.
Free Prime shipping. Also,
Yeah.
you
I
can watch
love
Transparent.
Prime.
You can
Yeah.
watch Transparent
can.
also on Amazon
You can. No,
Prime.
we read an article where you said that you were when you're in the writer's room, you literally feel like you're in therapy sometimes or all the time.
Yeah. Well, we just started back on Tuesday. And so it's been, what's today? Thursday? 3
Thursday.
days. And I'm already like, ready to cry. It's just like getting back into this family and into the issues, especially that our community is facing. And how do we bring light to the trans issues that we all face as a community, but on an individual level, that we try to put on Maura Pfefferman and Davina and Shay and other trans characters.
Yeah, I would think that it gets really personal because I think when writing is the most universal is when you're the most specific.
Yeah.
So that means that requires a lot of you.
A lot of vulnerability and like being willing to share the crazy things that have happened to you.
Yeah. Well, and also it's there is no blueprint for this because we really are the first show to tackle trans issues. And so we have to teach and we have to enlighten and portray heart and soul along with all that. So it's like, how much do we teach? How much do we share? And yeah, it's
But
an
you guys
exciting
are doing
challenge.
such a great job at doing all of that. Like I love the show and
Yeah.
I love how you guys talk about how even like how somebody who might have to face that as having a parent go through that and what that does for their psychology of that. Like it's really beautifully written and beautifully.
It's such a tightrope that you're walking, and you guys are nailing it because
Thanks.
it's also really entertaining and
good.
fun
and yes, and hilarious. Like it's just real life, you know. Like
Yeah.
it's like sad and like it's sad, and then you're laughing because you're sad. I mean, it's great.
It's all those things. Do you feel like it's changed you doing it?
Well, for sure. I feel like I've really, my self-esteem has gone up a lot. When I first started
Yes.
working on the show, I felt like so alone with these things. And now to be able to share what's inside and to have people reflect and to also identify, that's been like so healing on a personal level.
I will say that this experience for me doing this show every week and being forced to like read articles and find out what body positivity movements are doing and
Yeah.
like it and to hear numbers and like to go through my own personal things on the air like it does there's like an airing out that really is healing and I think my fear is always that it's going to be like snore fest, pick it up, Deech, enough with the set. You know what I mean? Like a little bit. But I feel like I am so much lighter since July. Like I feel lighter in
sure.
the world. Yeah.
Well,
And I've seen that in you.
Yeah.
Which
you're
I'm
doing
happy
work
about.
on yourself, you know, with the show. When anytime you join a show that is tackling political and social ideas, you also have to work on yourself.
You
Girl,
have
we
to.
are working on ourselves.
We gotta work
we
on
talked
it.
about it last week. We got trolled on one of our YouTube videos.
Oh, gosh.
And I swear 6 months ago I would have been like, and I just like laughed. Like
I love a good troll.
I was tickled so much by it. I was like crying, reading them on the air. I was like literally crying, laughing so
Yeah.
hard. Kathy had a very different reaction.
I was
but
a little different. I went into my little shell, which is weird for me because it takes a lot for me to do that. I'm
Sure.
so extroverted that when I go into that shell, I'm like, oh, this is real. You have to do serious self-care.
Sure.
But then it was fine, and you find the humanity in people, and that's what you have to face. Like, if someone is acting out in that way, there is something that they are deeply like sad about, lonely about,
Yeah.
angry about,
Mhm.
and we just move on, right? We just like move on in the world and still
Yeah.
talk about the things we want to talk about. So you also, we want to talk about how the day after we saw you,
you met up with
met
somebody
up with a
pretty
friend.
spectacular.
Yeah.
What?
We have
at
a photo
show.
of
We have a
it.
photo of
What are you
it.
talking about?
Oh, I don't know.
You know, just
Oh, that friend.
yes.
Yeah. Can you?
I mean, you guys are just so cute together. First of all,
honestly,
I
your
love
like your
her.
boobs are in it's like in
It's like a
synergy.
C.
I
It's
mean,
like a
look,
second S.
It's like
our boobs are touching. Like literally, my right breast and Dolly Parton's left breast are touching.
It's
And I thought the
incredible.
earthquake was going to happen because we were
Yes!
under earthquake
We've been
watch.
at very high.
And then I
level.
thought like the moment that our breasts touched that there would have been an earthquake.
it was like boom. This is happening.
Well, I have had the privilege of singing your Gospel of Dolly stuff, which is really incredible. And she has known about you for a while, right?
Yeah, we know Stephen Aremus, our
Yes.
brilliant music director friend in New York.
Yes.
Well, he was music directing 9 to 5 on Broadway, working with her when I was doing these Gospel of Dolly shows initially. That was like 8 years ago,
I
6
can't
years
even
ago.
imagine that was so
It's a long
ago.
time ago. And so he turned her on to my stuff. She listened to my album in her tour bus and asked to meet me. And then she ended up
Oh my
helping me
God,
get
Dolly
my
Parton
boobs.
asked to meet
I
you.
know.
That's so cool.
I know.
She
it's
helped me get
incredible.
my boobs. I had this concert called Boob Aid, and she donated some things that I auctioned off at the concert. And so this
Amazing.
boob I named Jolene. And I told her that, and she said she named her boobs Shock and Awe.
Yes, I love it,
I
Dolly
mean,
Parton.
let's like make some little magic witchiness that collaboration happens in a studio, like not just backstage. Like you and her working together
Oh, I would love
frees my
that.
soul.
I
Like
would
let's just
love
do that.
that.
Oh, all right,
Yeah,
we got
it's
more.
happening, it's
we got
happening.
more. We got more to talk about when we come back with our Lady J plus this. Yes,
Yes,
standing O,
gospel.
standing O at the Point Foundation
Praise
Gala.
Goddess.
Yes, praise Goddess. So, talk a little bit about your.
I love how New York you got. Talk a little bit
about your Church for the Godless. Is that what it is?
Gospel for the
Gospel
Godless.
Gospel for the Godless. I love it.
Thank
Well,
you.
I was raised in a really conservative evangelical Christian community, as you can tell. But we were in an Amish village, strangely. Everyone was like ex-Mennonite, ex-Amish, or Mennonite and Amish. And so it had this very, very boxed-in view of what religious music should be, or in general, what a religious experience should be. And I find that I didn't do so well with the dogma, but I loved the culture around it, and especially the music. And I was in New York, being a queer, downtown punk, all of that. And I was really missing my gospel music. So I just thought, well, I could make my own gospel music, take out the dogma, make like an uplifting sound with a gospel choir. And so I call it Gospel for the Godless.
And I
Yeah.
love it. I love, like, I was going on your iTunes just being like, yes, yes, yes. Like, I just need to I think instead of just buying individuals, I should have bought the album.
I'll give you the album.
I'm sure it all goes to the same place, right?
right.
To Apple.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, boo.
Well, where can people get your album then if we don't want it to be iTunes?
No, you can get my Apple on iTunes.
Okay.
Anywhere. You can also stream it on what's a SoundCloud.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you were talking about merch. I wasn't kidding when I say that Jay is really a Renaissance woman. She's amazing. And
I don't know about that. I'm a hustler.
Well, but you're extremely creative, and I've seen your candles. I've seen your breast paintings, which I enjoy very much.
Like
Wait,
boob
can
art.
you
Your
tell
boob
us that?
art.
Like, do you paint with your boobs, or are you?
Well,
what's happening
I
here?
did this concert, called Boob Aid, and to thank everyone who participated. It was all these downtown artists in New York, Scissor Sisters, like all these kids came together and helped me got my boobs. So I made them paintings with my boobs after I got my boobs, and as gifts. And
they're great.
I gave one to Dolly. And I don't know if she has a hanging. Leonard Cohen has
she
one
does.
hanging in his house.
She does. She has it
That
hanging like in
Rufus
her
gave him.
bedroom, like it's her favorite thing in the world. That's just me projecting.
So I also sell these at my shows, and I have an Etsy page, and a portion of all proceeds go to the LGBT Center in Los Angeles.
And you have a tote right now that's very popular.
I have a tote bag that says "Not gay as in happy, but queer as in fuck you." That's a hot seller. I have prayer candles with Our Lady J,
Yes,
my
I like
image
your-
on them.
I like your
Amazing.
For your altar.
Yeah, we
That's
got
so
altars.
cool.
We have altars.
We have
We're
altars.
very witchy.
One must.
Yeah, we got to get you to our new moon meditation one time.
Yes,
Come and
get
you
witchy
would
with
love
us.
it. Oh
Come
my
and get
God,
witchy with
do
us.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Point Foundation is an LGBTQ scholarship fund. And
It's an amazing program that they have.
amazing.
It's
The
really, really
night-
unbelievable. I learned so much.
1 out of 3 LGBTQ kids do not make it through high school and then never go to higher education. That
One
number
out of 3.
staggering.
That means that one of
Staggering.
us would not
Yeah.
have gone to.
Yeah.
Did not finish
Didn't-
college.
Oh.
Me.
But what about high school? Did you finish high school?
I finished high school.
Okay, but
yes.
1 out of 3 doesn't even finish high school, which
Yeah.
is kind of unbelievable.
incredible.
That's really
Yeah,
high. But
that's so
you
sad.
worked in DC with them before.
I did.
went.
Yeah, I spoke on a panel in DC with these brilliant students. They're so smart. It blows my mind
Unbelievably
that
smart.
their talents are being fostered the way they are. And not only are they encouraged to go to college, but they're being rewarded. And there's this amazing foundation, the Point Foundation. You should look them up if you are LGBTQ and are
Pointfoundation.org.
Yeah, and then not only do they give you a scholarship to go through as much higher education as you want, but they also mentor you and like guide you through whatever you might need. It was really, really cool to see some alumni and some current students. It was really a
was
great event.
beautiful.
I was like, okay, don't cry, don't
yeah,
cry.
I cried the
Don't
whole
cry.
time. It's like impossible for me not to cry.
I know. It was really such a
Yeah.
beautiful night.
Yeah, and what they do in the world after is really the payoff, I think. Like, not only are they doing these incredible things,
Yeah.
like working as lawyers, working on policy to help their brothers and sisters in the world.
Right.
They also are mentoring also. Like,
Yeah.
so many of them are mentors themselves. I mean, it's like this little petri dish that just keeps growing and growing and growing,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. So we love them and we thank them. Thank you for having us. Kevin Chase is our buddy who's on the
Yes.
board, and I will come back and do anything you want whenever.
Always.
Always. Yeah. So okay. So we had some hot topics this week that we would love to talk to you about.
All right.
There's this catch thing, body positivity, and I love it because it really is inclusive. And I felt a lot of the things that in the interview that you did, the roundtable with all of your
On vulture.com.
yeah, on vulture.com with all of your transparent folk.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the things that you were talking about being seen, about being heard, about your stories being told, we talk about here about being plus size. So there was this article in Huffington Post. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
No, BuzzFeed.
BuzzFeed that was this fierce Bollywood star, honey. She is stunning and beautiful and gorgeous, Sonam Kapoor. Talking about how there's this mythology about how when people think that people in the spotlight and celebrities or whatever wake up like they are. And that's just not true. And she had a brilliant quote. We have a card with it, where she says, we've been taught that women need to be flawless even when our flawlessness is wildly implausible, sexy even when our sexiness is a break from plot. We're sprinting through Jurassic Park in heels, fighting supervillains in strapless corsets, being stranded on desert islands for days without a hint of stubble. Real female bodies are so taboo that hair removal cream ads show hairless legs even before the cream is applied.
Which is so true. When I read that, I like realized
Went
like,
and
oh
looked
my
it.
god, she's so right. It's like every Nair commercial is like the cream and the shaving, and it's like a bare perfect. Like, why is she shaving?
Amazing.
I mean, when I had that
true.
realization, I was Googling it. I was like, is that true? And I was like, that is so true. Like, it's, so I was wondering, do you, as a person who's trans, like feel like that you have a push and pull with that? Because there's a part of
I
you
do.
that loves the glamour, right? I mean,
Well, I love the glamour, and I love I love having agency over my body, and having been born with a male body, I love the ability to change my body. But that also can be a real financial strain, because most insurance companies don't cover trans-related
Hello.
surgeries or hormones. And so being at peace with what you have with your body, along with changing your body, it's a real, there's a lot of balancing that goes on mentally.
Well, I think what was so important for me in this part was that you can, if you want to change your body, absolutely change it, but don't expect that your body has to look like what you see in the magazines.
Right.
Like that, I think was a huge takeaway for me, was that she was like, guys, I don't wake up looking like this, and neither does Beyonce, and
Right.
really, she really doesn't. And it takes a lot of work, and she showed like it takes 4 people to do my hair and my makeup, and there's
Yeah.
somebody painting my nails, and I'm getting my eyebrows done 4 times a week, and all this crazy stuff that people just don't know that that's how it is, or like how scrutinized she is. Like she goes on the beach and then they like circle her cellulite on her backside, and how crazy that is. And
totally insane.
and how it's funny because we've talked about body image issues, and like how I'm just like I feel like I, as a plus size woman, don't have as many crazy neuroses as sometimes girls who are a size 4 or a size less.
Yeah.
Like they are more crazy and more neurotic
Yeah.
about their body than I
Yeah,
am.
like there's like a maintaining,
Right.
white knuckling, right? And I'm just wondering, did you feel like that has changed at the longer that you have transitioned?
Yeah, definitely. I really don't give a shit as much as I used to. I mean, for the Emmys, that cape look that I was featuring, actually all week for the Emmys, I made it a point to not tuck, because a lot of, we don't talk about trans bodies as being different as much as we talk about trans bodies assimilating. And a lot of trans women don't have bottom surgery, including myself. And a lot of us don't want to have bottom surgery. And so, and yet there's this pressure to look as cisgender, which is the opposite of transgender, if you
Right.
don't know what cisgender is to look as cis as possible, even though we are trans. So I really wanted to celebrate my transness in every way. So I wore pants. I didn't wear a dress. I did wear heels. I was back and forth on the
You're
heels. I
giving
had
a
a pair of
line.
loafers. I
Giving
had
line.
a
It's
boot.
okay. Tim Snell was on here and he was like, heels just add something. They just add a line. That's really it.
They add a line. I also think that line is adored because it's so impossible to get. So I'm not wearing heels right now. I rarely wear heels anymore.
Yeah, me too, but that's because Wicked ruined my knees.
I want to wear heels at all times, guys. If I could, I would. I love a heel.
So the other thing that came up this week was the Huffington Post. So all of the, like, Refinery 29
Yeah.
is launching a huge thing where they're putting all of these plus size women on their stock photos. So
Amazing.
people can grab them instead of like just
Fabulous.
going to someone who's a size 0. You could go to someone who's a size 20, which is amazing. Huffington posted an amazing article interviewing 8 body positive activists about reclaiming the word fat. And I had such a hard time with that word growing up. I was really bullied with it by my older brother and others. So it still triggers me, but I loved what these women had to say about it, and I totally agree. There was a transgendered plus-size woman, Gia, at the Sassy Truth, and we have a card of hers, She said this: I started using the word fat after I noticed one of my friends describe herself as a fat girl with all the confidence in the world. I thought to myself, Gia, you are a fat trans girl, and there's nothing wrong with that, and there's no need for you to be ashamed of it. Your body is valid.
Yes, honey.
Yes. So I began using the word fat daily to describe myself and to show appreciation to my body and all of its curves. I do this because I think that by giving visibility to the word, just like giving visibility to trans women, we can normalize these things that society deemed too bad or different, and this will further bring acceptance and understanding. She's fabulous.
I love that.
Her Instagram is awesome
Yeah.
too. So guys, I'm gonna say it one more time. Where is she? At the
Sassy
Sassy Truth. I mean, honey, Gia.
Hello.
Gia, come on our show, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just wondering, I mean, do you feel that way about trans? I mean, actually, let's talk about the word tranny for a minute. I mean, there's a big controversy about it. I'm sorry if I'm
Sure. No, that's fine.
not preparing you.
Oh, God.
for talking
I've gotten
about
in
that.
trouble. Okay, there are some truths out there. Tranny is used as a slur. Tranny is also used as a positive identity. So both of those things are true.
Do exist, yeah.
And I think it just depends on your experience with the word. I try not to use the word because so many people are offended by it and so many people are triggered by negative experiences with it. But at the same time, I defend people who use the word in a positive way because I think we all have the right to self-identify.
And I think this is what her point was about fat too. I think that's the same thing. It's like, we want to embrace what we are, and just like thin isn't a dirty word. It's just you're
Right.
just describing something.
Right.
Like, why are we putting all of this, perspective on it?
Right. Why isn't it just a descriptive word as like, okay, you're fat, you're thin, you're short, you're tall, you're whatever? Why isn't it that? Why is it that it's like this like dirty word that means that you're lazy or stupid or, like that you can't
Yeah.
accomplish anything?
It's a lot of baggage, but I think we can take it back.
Yes.
And it makes me very excited.
Yes.
Just like how we're so excited you joined us today.
I'm so happy to be here.
I love
Thank
you so
Aw, I love
much.
you.
I wanted her to be on here. I'm so glad it worked out. Ching ching. If people, we already talked about your music on iTunes. What's the name of the last album?
Picture of a Man.
Picture of a
It's
Man.
my only album. Well, I have two albums.
Oh.
I have a live album, live from the
Yeah.
Zipper Factory, and then I have a studio album,
The
Picture of
Zipper
a Man.
Factory.
Rest in peace,
I
the Zipper
know.
Factory.
My first All Heart gig was at the
That
Zipper
was
Factory.
that was a moment in time in New
I
York City.
know, we were there.
Before all the New Yorkers moved to LA.
I know.
Here we are.
And we're gonna make our own. So, and you are active on Instagram
I am.
And that's
yes.
at
and
Our Lady Jane.
Facebook and Twitter
and Twitter.
and
Yes.
And it's all at Our Lady J.
Snapchat once in a while.
Oh.
At Our Lady J, just the letter J. OURLEDYJ.
Well, give
Lovely.
everyone at Transparent our best.
I
We're so
will.
proud of
Thank
you.
you.
And I
Thanks,
can't
Zach.
wait to watch your first directed episode.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just started producing, so we'll go there first.
If you need a couple chubs on there,
Yeah.
Thanks, son.
think of us.
Yeah, we're here. Pew, pew, pew. We'll be back with more. Plus this. Stay tuned.